Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wawachaha Kodash. Bless you, Yahweh, name of the Heavenly Father. Bless you, Yahweh Shai, the name of his only begotten Son. Bless you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Lord, will you be edified? Shalom. Zechariah 5, verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof.
All right, you heard the name Mr. Corbell there. You were name dropped. There he is. Let's bring in UFO documentary filmmaker Jeremy Corbell. This is your specialty. You've been working on this for years now. Thank you for being with us today on such a big day. This is for you. And can we say the UFO community?
Absolutely, the UFO community, yeah.
Okay, so what is the biggest revelation you think from today's hearings?
First of all, UFOs are not a matter of belief. That's a data-poor perspective, and this is a data-rich environment. So if you look at it this way, every day human knowledge expands, and that's what we're seeing today. Today was this landmark moment. It was a moment a lot of people were asking for, and representative government came forward and offered this. It's the first time in 50 years that we've had open congressional hearings on the subject of UFOs. And not only that, today, there was a pressure that was put on our intelligence agencies and our Department of Defense to fess up about what they know. And what they know is that UFOs are real, that they're physical objects, that they are advanced craft, that they outpace, outmaneuver, and outperform any of our war technology. So they showed new footage today, actually. They showed new footage. So that is a symbol or a sign of UFO transparency. We're living in a different world. We're now living in a world, your children are going to grow up, and the UFO mystery, the scientific community is going to look at this. Today showed that the American people want the truth and that our representative government is fighting for us. They're going to bat.
So there was both open testimony, then there was behind-the-scenes classified testimony. Let's put up on the screen this. Today's testimony revealed some 400 unexplained incidents, 11 of them serious enough to be categorized as near misses, where military aircraft just barely bruised past UFOs without colliding. The Pentagon has not ruled out the possibility that these incidents could be connected to extraterrestrial life. That's quite something.
Right. And so you mentioned, and it's really interesting, the closed testimony. So because this is a national security issue, because we have machines of unknown origin with extreme capability, we've ruled out that it's our black technology, our dark secret technology. And additionally, it's ruled out to a high degree that this is any other technological nation that we know of. So that is a national security issue. If we don't know who's operating these craft, who made them, where are they from, and then also what the intent is. So the closed door briefing, that's where the things that would be a problem for national security to speak about had to be done. However, I am highly hopeful that this is the beginning, this is the start. There will be, mark my words, there will be more open congressional briefings, and they will bring in people who directly engaged these UFOs for the United States military, possibly even fired upon them.
Well, we're putting up there on the screen right now, the screen, stigma has gotten in the way of good intelligence because not everyone believes. So you started off this interview saying that this isn't a matter of belief, but you certainly know that there are still the non-believers. There are skeptics out there. So how do you change that? And one of the things is, why haven't more pilots come forward?
So that's the thing. They have, like, I could be skeptical of bacteria until I get a microscope. And here's the deal. Our technology is becoming so sophisticated. It's not just somebody saying, like a pilot saying they saw it. It's tracked on ground radar, air radar, collective AI, artificial intelligence radar that connects all the pilots together. It's on thermal imagery, it's on infrared, it's on normal photos. So you've got all this corroborative video evidence. And this is some of what I released with my mentor in journalism, George Knapp. We did that just about a year ago, and that's kind of what they were talking about in these hearings. And to your point, it was stated by Representative Carson when he put this together. He's my new hero. He said, we want to reduce stigma. That's what this hearing is about. Now, why did he say that? It's because I should be obsolete. People like me, where military individuals come to me and have to leak me footage because they can't push it up through the chain of command and get it to where it needs to go. And additionally, the people where it needs to go, they also want it. So if I do my job right, I'll be out of a job because that line directly of information, that should be healed. You know, that should be put back together so we can work as a single unit. Now, the other aspect of the hearing was what you said. Secrecy, it can serve as an obstacle for solving this UFO mystery.
Okay, well, you've certainly done your job well because you have a lot of people who follow you. So tell our viewers why they should follow you on Twitter and Instagram.
Well, actually, that's where I have dropped all of the new UFO footage. When I obtain it, I vet it, I make sure it's not a problem with national security. I drop it on my Instagram and my Twitter. So I would follow it because that is the way you're going to see it first. And it's everything's at Jeremy Corbell.
And the website is extraordinarybeliefs.com. Jeremy, congratulations on a big day. And you've got quite the impressive safe behind you, by the way.
You know, all good secrets, they're kept under lock and key. But I do want to say it was everybody. It was UFO Twitter. It was George Knapp. It was Lou Elizondo. All these people, UFO Twitter, the masses came together and said, we want to know the truth. And that's what we've begun today.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on our air and helping us make sense of all of this today.
Wisdom of Solomon 5 verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for.
John Hook's Newsmaker Saturday starts now.
Thanks for joining us on Newsmaker Saturday. Do you believe we are being visited here on Earth? According to a Gallup poll, 4 in 10 Americans now think some UFOs that people have spotted have been alien spacecraft visiting Earth from other planets or galaxies. This is up from a third saying so 2 years ago. This number of believers has climbed because for the first time the government is admitting this stuff and actually expressing concern over what they're seeing. Sightings of crafts that simply can't be explained by our current understanding of physics. Now this presents 2 problems. Either our adversaries, namely China, have developed superior technology, or this stuff is otherworldly. Either way, the choices are, at the very least, troubling. Let's listen in to what Fox explored recently on this subject.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
Military pilots have reported bizarre aircraft popping up around sensitive national security sites, and so have commercial pilots.
We just had something go right over the top of us.
Intelligence leaders in Congress like Senator Marco Rubio are growing increasingly concerned.
We don't know who they are. We don't know what it is. It isn't ours.
Well, if there's a
NASA Administrator Bill Nelson interviewed some of the military pilots who tracked them and then lost them.
They followed it, and then suddenly it would move in a direction faster than anything that they had ever seen.
The sightings picked up during the Obama administration.
We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory.
And then they picked up more through the Trump administration.
Movements that are hard to replicate, that we don't have the technology for.
And Trump's director of national intelligence suggested it's picked up more than the public's been told.
There are a lot more sightings than have been made public.
The Pentagon ordered the Navy to investigate, but as government leaders examined emerging classified intelligence, the Biden administration escalated the investigation by forming a new dedicated unit. While we don't know what they know, we do know they've been concerned this could be the work of an adversary like China or Russia. And with the sightings of our national security facilities, it raised concerns this summer that they could be spying on us.
Maybe it's a foreign adversary who's made a technological leap.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes we wonder whether or not our adversaries have technologies that are a little bit further down the road than we thought or that we realized.
There's something there. We just don't know what it is.
Do you think it could possibly be Russia or another foreign adversary?
That's why we need to find out. Because if there is an adversary with that kind of technology, then we definitely need to be very, very careful.
But over the past few weeks, lawmakers with access to intelligence have publicly moved away from that theory.
Well, I don't believe they're coming from foreign adversaries, and frankly, China and Russia just aren't there.
To something maybe out of this world.
If for some reason these came from another system, if you will, another alien society, that would make me more fascinated, not fearful.
Including NASA Administrator Nelson in this interview with the University of Virginia.
Who am I to say that planet Earth is the only location of a life form that is civilized?
Craig Patrick, Fox News.
Do you believe what you just heard? I mean, that is strong language from politicians. Joining me now is Jeremy Corbell, a UFO expert who's been doing a deep dive into this subject for some 20 years. Jeremy, great to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Okay, we've got guys like Bill Nelson and we've got Obama. We've got all kinds of people now saying, hey, we don't know what this stuff is. If you just step back for a minute and go, wow, that is an unbelievable statement.
That's right. You know, people can believe in UFOs, but UFOs are no longer a matter of belief. You have now been told by your representative government a lot of details about how we study UFOs, that our military funded these studies, and that it's an ongoing phenomenon with an increased frequency that represents craft of unknown origin that are far more advanced. These craft, they infiltrate, for lack of a better word, into our restricted airspace. They fly with impunity. And this is a national security issue for some people. And for me, it's a much bigger existential issue. You know, who are operating these craft? Who made them? Where are they from? What is the intent of those who pilot these?
You know, the minute you dive into this, people think you're a kook. You start going into this. But more and more, there are so-called credible people saying this is real, we don't know what it is, and we're concerned. Are you concerned about what it is, or are you more taking a position that if they were threatening, they would have already obliterated us?
Well, you know, two things about that. One is that the stigma is dissolving. It's fading because of fact, because of science fact. We now have data, radar, visual. We have optics that track these things, radar systems. This is not fiction. It's not fantasy. The entire stigma is now dissolving when it comes to talking about these unknown objects, these machines that fly with impunity in our restricted airspace. I mean, this is a real issue. And now finally people are talking about it. As far as the question of concern, look, UFOs have been part of the human experience from as far back as we can see in recorded human history. If there was a nefarious intent, you figure that we would know by now. You know, but the issue here is that anybody that's looking at this, such as our military, it is their job, it is their duty to protect the American public. So there is this sense of national security. There is this sense of assessing the threat and the potential. Whoever operates these craft are so far advanced that's why you hear officials saying, look, we're pretty much ruling out these are adversarial nations because people just aren't there yet. The technology we witness, with the performances we see, it doesn't represent a technology and a physics that we have yet grasped as humanity on planet Earth. So the UFO presence on planet Earth, it's as real as the nose on your face. Now, finally, we're being able to look at it without stigma.
Jeremy, this is a Tic Tac video, the famous Tic Tac video. You reported on it before anyone else, but this is the one that kind of got the ball rolling. And this craft does some really weird stuff.
Yeah, the first video you're showing, right, that is the Tic Tac UFO. You're also showing the gimbal UFO from the East Coast in 2015. The Tic Tac was in 2004. And then you're showing one called the Go Fast. All three of these have been confirmed by the Pentagon as being unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs or UFOs. The flight characteristics of these craft are so astonishing. The pilot that chased the Tic Tac UFO, the commander who filmed the Tic Tac UFO, they came forward to me and they detailed what they saw, what they experienced, what they encountered. What they encountered was a vehicle that was able to defy our known physics, its ability to move, to shoot off, to move at a 90-degree turn at unimaginable speeds. These Tic Tacs, by the way, there were multiple, many of them. They were descending from above 80,000 feet, which is the height we know because that's the scan volume of the Spy-1 radar, down to sea level in less than a second and a half, like that.
God. Wow.
No sonic booms. How does this happen?
Luke 21:26. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.